guys. This is like Groundhog Day around this joint. Anyhoozles, we're still working. We're still working on this rig here. I was hoping to have a hope or chance of getting it into primer today, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure how satisfied I am with how it's all prepped out and stuff, but what I'm working on here is trying to get this stuff off the side of the car here. So everybody in the lives kept telling me, well, buy the eraser system here. And so that's what I did. I will say the advantage to it here is that it's not making dust like sanding. Man, I drink Gatorade and everyone. Maybe I should get a Gatorade sponsorship. Be like a Gatorade YouTube athlete here. All right, well, it's like weird too. It left like some sanding marks in here, and I don't know if that was me with the rougher sandpaper there. Didn't seem like it, but I don't know. What's up, guys? Welcome in. So, I'm going to continue to be frustrated. This is why I don't like body work. I hate body work when it makes things a lot more work for me. I cut corners. I should just cut a lot more corners and make it look good for camera, and then I wouldn't have to do all this extra work. But I could probably spray it and you guys would never have seen this, but I'm going to try to make it look as good as possible. Should have done this while it was off the car, or mounted to the car. You guys ever use these eraser things? The verdict is still out here. I only did like one pinstripe, and I don't know what it started at, but I feel like it's halfway gone already. So, I'm not really sure what the deal is here. It's like a never-ending. It's like the project that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. Ooh, should I do it on high? Maybe I should give it a little. Ooh. Ooh, I don't like that. Well, another way. What I'm trying to do here, guys, is just basically essentially this thing is just like an eraser essentially for a pencil, kind of is what, at least that's the way it seems to me. I've never used one of these before, but you guys kept telling me in the live streams that I should be using this to get the glue and the pinstripes off, and it does work, but it's still a fair bit of work. It's almost like, to me, if you had one that was the other direction, so I'm trying to think like an angle grinder or something like that, if you didn't care about the paint, which a lot of times when you're doing this type of stuff, it doesn't matter. I wonder if they make one for like an angle grinder, because if you could get that in there with an angle grinder and go this way, this would go a lot quicker. But trying to hold it on the drill and do it like this, maybe if you were just doing like one little spot or something, it wouldn't be too big of a deal. What's up, Jacob? How's it going, man? But it seems to me there's also the problem of like when it goes into like these little crevices and stuff, that's kind of an issue, but I don't know. To give this thing a good cleanup again, and then if I'm going to try to prime it, then I'll have to tape it here. But anyway, so I don't know. Oh, I guess I just didn't realize that. It says stop use line, max 4,000 RPM. So I'm halfway down to that line, and I've only done one stripe. So like I said, if I would have done the entire car with this thing, I don't think it would have lifted the pinstripes, to be totally honest. Like, because there's a couple spots down here where it's actually, a matter of fact, is still on there. And I tried, and it wouldn't come off. So I don't really know why. Like, it'll lift the glue, it seems like, but it definitely doesn't want to lift the decals. Let's try it here on some. Ooh, I guess got to crank it up. I'm going to crank it up. It'll slow it down. I think when you have it running full blast on the drill, it gets hot and it wears it out quicker. So let's run it on low and see what happens here. So the only thing I'm trying to do right now is the glue. So you would think that would come off the easiest, if anything. I thought the pinstripe would have lifted super easy, but it definitely didn't. It's like I said, it's like doing it on the drill like this. It's like a weird... I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not too sure here. Maybe I'll pull you guys in a bit closer so you can actually see what's happening here. If you guys are new to the channel, I fix old junk cars. Not really. Actually, well, most of the cars that I buy are junk. This one's exceptionally nice of a starting point compared to usual. So, I can't remember what brand this was, but I'm trying this new, basically, eraser for getting this glue and stuff off. And I don't know, like, maybe I'm just using it wrong. I don't know how fast to go with it. But I mean, like, you can, like, literally leave it right on there. And I think it's just that these pinstripes have been on there for so long that glue is just absolutely and just stuck to the paint so bad, because everybody makes it sound like it just comes right off, and it definitely isn't. You guys can see there, like it's not even close. Can you guys see that? I'm like literally holding it right on there, and it's not even making a dent in it. Now, it did take a bunch of this stuff off the bottom there, which is good, but I don't know, like, I just don't like holding it on this drill. Like, I don't know, just with being so narrow like that, and you guys know how drills are to hold already. Not really the best tool for this, probably. Does anybody know if you guys can get these on are you guys able to get these on like an angle grinder or something? Because I feel like that would have enough power and speed, and you could get it thicker, probably, that it would actually make it a lot more, like a lot quicker. I guess I just hate doing things that take forever too for no reason. Seems unnecessary. Now, when I sanded this, it does work, but the problem is when you start getting into like angles or curves, like to do the other side of the door with the orbital sander there, I had to open the door and then do it with the sander, and I'm still probably going to have to go back with the sander and do it again here. So welcome in, guys. If you guys are new here, check out all my content. Like I said, I do old car stuff or whatever there. I'm trying to get all these pinstripes off this. It's a 79 Camaro I'm working on here right now. So we will see what we can do here. I feel like I'm gonna have to probably do some more sanding here. And some of it could be, like, I don't know if this car had base clear the last paint job. I mean, if there was any clear on it before, there's definitely none left now. What's up, Dave? Dynabraid makes a tool for that with a wider rubber. Huh. Interesting. Like, where do you buy that from? Never heard of that. You're saying that they make an actual tool specifically to run this so that you don't have to have such a small rubber? I've never tried it before, but everybody that keeps coming into my lives keeps saying, why are you doing it with the sander? Do it with the rubber eraser. And it kind of works ish, but it's not really the best, to be totally honest. I mean, it definitely works. Like I said, this is the first time I've used it too, so I don't know if you're supposed to go like really fast or slower so that it has a chance to work. It seems like when you turn up the speed, it wants to skip, and I feel like that's where, I guess that's the problem with like an angle grinder, for example. Then it's going to be flying. You can't have any adjustability in it. So that would make sense, Dave, that if you got a tool specifically for it, that it would probably work better. I've never heard of that before. I've heard of these, but I just have never tried them. I'm still not confident this is my my savior. I guess the advantage to this, so the problem with if you try to sand all these pinstripes off, you guys know what tends to happen if you've ever done that. It gums up the sanding pad. And so I guess if you went with this first and then just touched up the last little bit with a sander, like now that I've got a good chunk of this off, it'll probably sand down pretty easily, I would think. So we'll just kind of see here. But what do you guys think? Paint this car for under $200? Spending my budget on this stuff. Had to buy myself an eraser wheel. I didn't buy more than one because I didn't know how good it would work. Plus, I got the bulk of it off with the sander already. I just wanted to try because everybody keeps saying, well, just buy the sanding wheel. Just buy, or not, buy the eraser wheel, I should say. So I figured I would jump on the bandwagon there and see, but it definitely lifts it off. I think some of the thing is it's hard to tell if it's actually fully coming off because of course, when they put it on, the paint was fresh. So there could be just clear coat and stuff behind it. So it kind of looks like it's glue and maybe it's not actually. So I think it works okay. I don't think, like, I tried it in a couple spots where the actual pinstripe still is. And it wasn't the best for that. I don't think it would work. I have a 1952 Willie Arrow Wing. What's the best to take all the paint off? That's what we're trying to figure out here, Cal. I don't know. I honestly like using, if you have the space and the compressor to do it, I like doing sandblasting, but without sand. In my opinion, the best thing to use is like glass. Use like glass in the you know, basically in the sanding pot or whatever, or crushed walnuts. Because if you do anything more than that, crushed walnuts works the best because it doesn't get hot and stretch the metal and things like that. Exactly. There you go. See, Howard knows what's up. Zip strip. What's the zip strip there, Zax? It's called a Dynabrite Nitro Zip. Kind of salty, but nice. Is it expensive? Because I'm a super cheap channel here. That's the whole point of my channel, is being on a budget. But it's not. It's just, it works okay. Like this, I suppose, like, if I'm being honest here, it's probably working faster than trying to take it off. Corn. What? I have no idea what you're talking about, Zax. So it is coming off, but like I said, I'm wondering if because originally underneath there's all the actual good paint yet, and that's why it seems shiny, because it kind of looks like glue, but I think it's actually maybe just clear coat. That's probably why it's not lifting off in some of the other areas too, I think. I'm just guessing. $300 to $400. Dang, son. I'm gonna be in the price of a car. You're spending my budget in my car channel. Is it like a smaller tool then? It must be something along the lines of like an angle grinder, but probably more adjustable, I would expect, huh? What's everybody up to today? Yeah, so you can kind of see, like, can you guys see that? So this is kind of where I've hit it here. It does come off, but man, you got to be like fairly aggressive to get it off of here, which is fine, I guess. It's just kind of tedious work. And I say this every time I'm on a live, I'm complaining because I don't have a hoist and I don't have the greatest back, so to lean over like this. After half an hour of doing that, I'm starting to get pretty sore. So if you had it at eye level, I know a lot of guys that come onto my channel, they have 2-post lifts and things like that. You do it for the living, so you need the speed. That makes sense. Yeah, don't take any advice from me then. I always tell people, don't come to my channel for advice. I'm the guy always taking stupid chances and trying to learn things, so I'm not necessarily the advice channel unless you're on a real tight budget. I try to do everything on a tight budget because I know a lot of guys build these cars in their garages and with very minimal tools, and I'm not really the, I don't know. Like I said, I sometimes cut corners and things like that, so it's not always the avenue everybody else wants to take, but usually the people that watch my channel, they understand you're cutting the corners to try to get it back on the road and make it a sensibly quick project there. All right. See, as I'm going along, I keep noticing more and more imperfections here. Where are you from there, David? You also don't want too smooth of a surface for paint adhesion. That's true. Yeah, I think I'll probably end up sanding all of this down. This, for me, was almost like an ideal car to start with because the paint was already gone on it. So it's like you're not having to deal with sanding and all the clear coat and all that stuff off. Like, I don't really care what anybody says. If you paint over top of a surface like this, as long as it's clean, it'll last another 20 years for sure. So that's just my personal opinion, but you know, I've seen it. You can look at my Camaro outside. That was probably one of the worst paint jobs I ever did, and that's been 25 years probably since I did it. Maybe not quite that, 20 for sure. I bet you if I painted it today, it would probably last a lot longer. I sucked when I did it that time. Like the actual paint quality sucked. It was kind of orange peeling and stuff, but yeah. But it's, yeah. I keep finding all these like micro scratches and things in here, which is okay. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if it was single stage the last time. It would kind of make sense why if it was done in, which I'm just speculating because you can kind of tell there's some giveaways here, but I'm speculating it was done 20 years, 25 years ago. Feathering paint layers is important. Yes, I agree. We'll see if it'll actually get it all off or not. I might have to go to the other side of the car and try to get it off the mirror too. I might have to put this one back on to actually mess around with it here. So I would say, just if you look at this thing here, you can see how far to let you go down. And I've used at least half of it already. But it does have the advantage, like I said, that it's not dusty. So that's kind of sweet actually. Because I'm working in an attached garage to my house here, so. Was the dust black or white when you first started sanding it? You're talking about like if it had clear coat. I mean, there was nothing left, so I don't remember honestly. I think white probably. I don't really know. Where are you from, Dave? I'm just screwing around. Like I said, I'm a budget channel and I do everything on a very, very extremely tight budget. So if you guys are perfectionists, I'm not your guy. But I could be, but then nobody would watch my channel because people don't want to be watching videos of me taking months to build a car. I usually put out, if you guys have been here before, you guys know, but I try to put out at least 2 videos a month, which means 2 car builds a month. I think once I have a shop, I'll be able to pick that up a little bit, but probably the very most I'll probably ever do, I would think. I don't want to get too crazy and just not be able to keep up. Probably 3 a month. Indiana, nice. What's up, Shar? How's it going? It is coming off though. It came off better on the bottom of the door than anywhere else for some reason or another. Not sure why exactly. This car is actually, like I said, this is a way better starting point. Usually I buy ones that are like literally ready for the crusher and then I get them back on the road. You should really be wearing breathing protection. You'll have black, oh my gosh. That paint dust is bad for your health. I mean, it's just the eraser. It's not making any dust right now. I usually do. But yeah, this car is actually incredibly solid, to be honest. It's a very, compared to what I normally start with, you guys saw like a lot of the vehicles that I start with. Not always, but I mean, I usually have. Rarely do they ever run. If they do, then there's a bunch of other body problems. That K10 that I had, it was like, it needed cab corners, rockers, floors, fenders, doors, a bed. and that mechanical stuff, hood. We put an interior in it, carpet, floor pans, seat. It's just like, and it still wasn't finished. I'm restoring a 1967 Plymouth Roadrunner. It's a nice car after I'm done with it. What do you want to talk about? Talk about what you want, man. Pains me. Bro, it's an eraser. Do you use an eraser in school? All it is an eraser scrubbing glue off of the side of the car. I'm not taking paint off with this. This isn't taking the paint off. So this thing, Zach's, this thing is just an eraser. It's literally taking, I'm using it to take all the original pinstripe off the car. If I was sanding, I would have a mask. I have a mask laying right behind me, an actual respirator when I'm sanding. Talking about the dust. Yeah, I know, but I'm not making any dust right now. This stuff is so heavy that it's just falling to the ground. It's not even making any dust. When I'm sanding with the actual sander. Okay. I've used the mask there, bud. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Have you been in my lives before? I have a mask right here. I use the mask when I'm sanding. You use your head. So now that I got this off, I could see a bunch of little stone chips and stuff that are kind of a thing here. 67 Roadrunner. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I actually do know what generation that was. 67 would have been the first year of the Roadrunner, I think, right? Nice to have the right tools for the job. Yeah, we haven't put out the full disclosure on whether this is the right tools for the job, but we're giving it a try anyways. I've never used one of these, so seems to be okay though. You could definitely see where the pinstripes were on it, but I don't know if that's just like I said. I think what's happening is that where the glue was, there's still a little bit on here, but where the glue was, I feel like it was let me turn this a little bit. I feel like where the glue was is kind of just got, it's either the clear or maybe just the original paint probably had some shine to it, even if I think it was single stage. I don't know. That's what it kind of seems like to me. Because, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm assuming this was a Mako paint job or maybe not Mako, but something along the lines of that. And it probably held up okay for what it was. It might have even been older than 20 years ago, but I'm just guessing because that's kind of, if it sits out in the sun and stuff and it's not really getting washed and cleaned and whatever, it doesn't take long for paint to go bad in the south. There we go. Yeah, it is coming off though, so that's good, I guess. But yes, what's everybody else got going on here? I just figured I'd jump on here while I was doing some of this little piddly stuff again here. Takes a lot of elbow grease to get this all completely cleaned off. I feel like when you're using this, you should just go a little at a time, clean it, and see where you're at, because if you try to do the whole thing at once, you kind of lost where you were kind of missing spots. Like, that's what kind of happened to me here. I'm gonna have to borrow Dave's tool here to do it next time. Dave, do you wear a mask when you do this kind of stuff for a living? Or do you find the eraser is fine? Zach's is having a freak out here. In my head, I thought one of these things would last for like a really, really long time. But apparently these wheels wear down pretty quick. And what's annoying about it is being that it's tall and then it's getting itself shorter. Is it rusty down there? No. I mean, my area could be in some places around here because it's humid, but this car came from North Carolina. I drove to North Carolina and bought it. You could see it was actually in Virginia for a while the kid was driving it to college about 10 years ago. And now I bought it. Yeah, it's coming off anyways, just tedious. Just little bits at a time here. Each to their own. Like I said, I do if I'm sanding down, and if I was sanding dust, I'd wear it, but this isn't making any dust. The particles are so heavy it's hitting the ground, and this isn't taking paint off. Yeah, this isn't a paint remover. This is just taking the glue off. And it's barely even doing that, so there's more eraser falling on the ground than there is anything else. It's gonna be like, you can see these two aren't flush to each other. The body there isn't perfect, probably because those door pins are worn. It's gonna be hard to get that little bit off. Kind of a wonky spot there. Let's see if we can get it this way. Makes it hard to sand too in that little area there. All right. You make fake wet. See, got me coughing there, Zax. Suit yourself. Yeah, buddy. I do. Probably should. You're probably correct. Where are you from there, Zax? Are you in the U.S.? It's slow going. Minneapolis. Gotcha. Yeah, you're probably right though. I probably do for canisters on my thing. I've been doing a ton of sanding here, especially this week. It is probably time to change those. I will agree with you. Whew. This is an ordeal here. Time to sand here again pretty soon. What do you guys think? Put some different wheels on this car or what? Hopefully it turns out okay once I get it all painted up here. Yeah. I would have probably, if I had sanded this down with crushed walnuts or something like that, I would have run into a problem here for sure. That there would be a lot of body waves and stuff. I try not to mess around with, if somebody had put Bondo in it, I try not to mess around with that. Preferably. Man, you move slow. Well, how old are you there, Super? From my age, you might move slow too. I think this does work. It's just a matter of, it seems to work the best on low speed, as fast as it'll go. Because if you go faster than that, it seems like it wants to jump. And you're gonna need, if you're gonna do any amount of this, old. If you're gonna do any amount of this, you're definitely gonna have to have more than one of these. So, which is fine, I guess. Doesn't really matter. They're not that expensive. Like, you know, you can get a 2-pack for 20 bucks or whatever. There's probably wider versions of this, maybe. It gets hard to hold on to with the drill though, for sure. Like, and you got to remember how the angle you're coming at it. Like where I'm working here, you're like this. Like I said, if you were going like this, or you had like an angle grinder on it or something like that, that would be a better solution. But I guess for a hobbyist, you can make it work with these, but I don't think it would take the pinstriping off right from being fully on there. So I don't know. I tried it in a couple spots where there was pinstriping and it definitely didn't pull it off. As a matter of fact, it's still on here and I was working at this for a while already. I think it's more designed for, like I said, maybe if they were fresh and you had just put them on, that would be a different scenario, but I don't know. All right. Yeah, finding some imperfections and stuff. You'll definitely see that. Like I said, if you could feel it, especially with your nail or whatever, you're definitely gonna, even with high build primer, it's gonna show some of that stuff. So it's a lot easier to do it when it's up on stands like this for me anyways. All right, what else we got here? Any more on this side here? Just a little bit, or maybe, yeah. Looks like a little bit more here, guys, a little bit more. I got that old back there, Super. That's how she goes, man. See, it will take it off in certain spots, but it just kind of depends here, I guess. Definitely works better in some spots than others for sure. Like here, it's got that little bit of a curve to it, and it came right off here. So just maybe how. I also suspect this is just a little higher up the paint, and the sun probably got at this more. So I'm thinking that's probably some of it. Here. Ooh. See, I barely even touched it there and it started peeling it right out. Now this is the part I was actually curious about here. See if I can get you guys closer to show you here. Let's see where we're at. So being that this front is fiberglass, I wasn't exactly sure how amazing this would go, but we'll give her a whirl here. because you can't really get this off if you take the scraper to it. You can get a little bit, but you have to be careful because it wants to dig into the fiberglass. There's already imperfections, and the front already isn't going to be perfect, so I'd rather not make any more problems with it, preferably. Whew. What's everybody else got going on here today? It's coming off though. It's funny because you can see like the original paint underneath it, of course. So it is just removing the glue like it's supposed to, I guess, is the idea. Not bad, not bad. It's coming along. Well, this is about the right height to be working at. This makes it a lot easier. Don't have to lean over. Work away at the front there a little bit. Don't think there's much on the back. Let's go see what we got here. All right. Throw the legs down this thing a little bit so I can actually. There we go. Sorry, gotta stretch the legs out on this tripod here. Get a little better view here. 1 second here, guys. 1 second. There we go. It's better. Oh, ish. Maybe. Something like that. Why am I removing the pinstriping? It's kind of missing the paint there, Johnny. It's coming though. I think. I don't know. Should try it a little bit here, I guess. It's like this is all weird spots to get into. See, right where I'm at here, the pinstriping is still on it, and it doesn't really even lift. So that kind of gives you a telltale of probably. I mean, it'll lift a little bit, I guess, but it's not amazing. Yeah. What do you guys think? You agree with what's going on there, man? How's it going? You guys agree with Zach's that I shouldn't be using this rubber eraser without a mask on? You'd think if it was that important, they would put some sort of a warning inside there. Need to take that University of Virginia off the back window there too. It's on the inside, of course. It's coming along though. I mean, honestly, I could spray this car right now and it would look not bad. I might take the taillights out before I spray it. I'm not sure how hard they are to get off on this car. Possibility. Yeah. I'm definitely not a guy that would ever put pinstriping back on. Number one, because I don't have a good enough hand to do that. And then number two, I don't want to have to deal with the next time around. Feel sorry for the next guy doing it. And you know the next guy doing it's probably not going to be a high-end restorer. It'll just be another guy in his garage swearing at the last guy that did it. So, whew. All right. I don't know. What do you guys think of these rubber eraser things? I don't really know. The verdict's not fully out here yet, but I think they probably have a place for sure. It does kind of work-ish. I don't know. Like I said, it would have been interesting to kind of use it. It would have been kind of interesting to use it on some of the full stripes here, but yeah, I mean up here it's like literally not even taking it off. So I don't know. I don't think it's like the end all be all for sure. Man, where this all was where these pinstripes were at the top here, it's like literally into the actual metal a little bit, it looks like. I don't know. I tried to sand it off earlier a little bit. Can't really get it without going too aggressive, and I don't want to go crazy with the sandpaper up here or with the orbital sander. So I don't know. Let's see if I can just do a little spot of it and get it smoothed down or not. I was debating priming it here today yet, but well, maybe it'll come, you know what? Yeah, with that little more aggressive sandpaper there. If you actually care about a vehicle, it's just a little more tedious process. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm gonna drop these legs all the way down so I can actually have the height so you can actually see your guys' comments here. 1 second. There, is that high enough? There we go. You guys can actually see the roof and everything. Why is this not all the way down? Oh, there we go. Ta-da. What's everybody else up to here? Where do you live again, Johnny? I don't even remember anymore. I got terrible memory. I have a terrible memory. It's coming along anyways, so. If you guys were trying to get somebody for a sponsor for a channel like mine, who do you think would be a good fit? I try to think of like people that I use all the time. I have kind of an idea, but a lot of these bigger companies want like big commitments that I can't probably meet. I don't want to be like saying, hey, I'll put out 4 videos a month and then just not be realistic. I have enough other things on the go too here. I'm actually surprised I get 2 to 3 videos out a month as it is, to be completely truthful. I always try to at least make sure I get 2 out. 2 out every month is my kind of like plan right now. I try to do it every second Friday, but when I'm busy with other things, sometimes I just can't get to it. And it's just not, I want to, but it's just not always possible. So, but I still always try to get them out every 2 weeks or ish anyways. Like really, I should have one coming out this Friday, but again, it's just gotta, and I mean, I could speed this up and just cut corners, which I'm going to cut some corners. Don't get me wrong. There's gonna be a few corners cut on this car, but I don't want to cut like major corners where it's like, this is pretty stupid of me to do this. So we'll see. I saw a guy in one of my groups there. He commented on my CruisinWithKevin page on social media there. He's in Canada, and he painted I think like a 77 Trans Am or something like that with Summit single stage blue. It looked really good. So that's getting it to be a darker color too. So we'll see how it goes here. All right. Man, it's rough there. The problem, see, like if you have a little scratch or something down here, you're not really gonna notice it, right? But if you have a scratch right here at your eyeball site, and of course it's gonna be worse because the car's on the car's a foot off the ground right now. So if you do that, then it's gonna be like you're really gonna see it every time. And once you notice it, then you'll notice it every time. You're like, I didn't see that. So I would like to at least make this good. Feels like I could do a little more to the roof there too. The never-ending saga of sanding. I'm getting pretty close to where I always get to this point with cars where I'm like, all right, I'm getting close where it's not going to be perfect anymore, and I can't really do much more than I can do with it. So see how she goes here, but All right, let me turn that there. It's coming along anyways. See if I can reach up here and do a little bit of this roof here a little better. It just kind of, it doesn't even take much is the crazy part. I try not to, I have a habit once in a while if I turn this sandpaper, and you don't want to do that. You want it to be all in the same, you want it to be all moving the same direction, or you will see that in the paint. Yeah. And so this is probably like, I don't know. I'm guessing that's like probably 100 grit on there. So if I do anything like aggressive like that, then I go back over it with something like 600 grit just to smooth it back out. Like I said, I'm not the person to go to for advice if you're looking for that kind of stuff, unless you're just looking to do it cheaply. Or on a budget, I should say. Because that's what I do here. There, just doesn't even take much, hey? See, this again is like, that rubber eraser might kind of work in here. Let's give that a shot here. See how it goes. What's everybody up to? You guys are quiet here. You were kind of talking my ear off earlier. Like I said, I'm always trying different stuff on this channel. I don't really care because none of my stuff's perfect anyway, so why not mess around and try out some different things that I've never done before. If it helps me in the future to speed things up or make it easier, I'm all about it. What's that? What year is this one? 79. And what's the other one? The one I just bought in Vegas? At 80, I think.
This is a 79 Camaro.
Yeah.
And that's an 80
Firebird? Why is that? Oh. The wife's doing our social media stuff today, so dealing with all that fun. All right, let's grab some rags here, clean this up a little bit. What do you guys all got going on here today? And I'm losing all my stuff here. Probably staring right at it somewhere. I mean, it kind of works, but I think what I'm going to have to do before I actually wipe it all down for the final cleaning is blow it all out. Am I going to remove the chrome? No, sir. No. I don't know if you were here when I've talked about this already, but this car was already repainted at one point, and the last time it got painted, they didn't remove anything. So all the stuff that's on it right now is all already oversprayed. Not oversprayed, but it's like it kind of got behind the tape. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about there. So like if you look really close, you probably can't really see it you probably can't really see it here, but like, I mean, you can really see it here if you look, but it's pretty much on every piece of chrome here where they taped up to it and then they kind of got it on the chrome. So it's already on there. It's on a bunch of the side marker lights and all that stuff. So, and again, for me, I know for a fact if I start taking off like this back window chrome and things like that, then it's going to turn into a whole thing of like, well, then it's like a problem, right? Where you start bending up trim and stuff, and if you want things to cost you money, that's a good way to do it. So, like I said, I'm doing it all on a budget, like I always do, and that's kind of what it is. So, I gotta go grab the sprayer from the other side here. I will be back in 1 second here. There we go. Yeah, figured I finished up over there. Last one. Oh, easy there. All right. So no, I'm not. Just in the aspect of partially of time and just also, like I said, just costs and stuff too. If I start messing around and doing that kind of stuff, then that every little thing that you add to a project like this is just another avenue of one more thing that you're going to have to deal with. So I just don't want to go down that road. I wouldn't anyways. Like I said, you got to remember this is just a backyard built car and it doesn't really matter. Nobody's really going to care. So I can grab a little bit more paper towel here. Apparently I sprayed all the way to the other side there. Whew, the old garage is dusty after doing all this here. Oh well. So, there we go. All right, get all the sanding dust off of this. Not bad, not bad. Can't really tell on this side because it's, yeah, still pretty dirty on this side, so probably have to give everything a good wipe one more time with some actual pre-painting cleaner and all that stuff or whatever. I think most of the decals are off of it here, so that's good. I'll jump back on here. Sorry, guys. I just cleaned it once with the just soapy water, just to get all the heavy stuff off of it. And you can still see like where I sanded down with the sander. It's funny how it leaves that center, which is totally fine. You don't got to get carried away. I know the places that I've already missed though is going to be the lower rockers and stuff like that. I've kind of missed all the lower rockers and stuff need to be lightly sanded, and I'm gonna have to do that while it's up on the jack stands here. So probably do that today yet. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get into primer today. I don't really want to do paint and primer on the same day that badly, but tomorrow's one of the last days before it starts raining every day, and I think I'm gonna have to do this outside, either in the booth or I might even just do it outside without the booth. I haven't fully decided yet. Not too thrilled about it either way. Not bad though, not bad. Yeah, most of that came off with that eraser. Huh. Yeah, just a little bit of glue here and there left, but not bad. Definitely was a lot better than it was. So yeah, just kind of little tedious stuff like that. What's everybody else up to here? All right. Yeah, a little bit of touch-ups with the sander down there and stuff. I always find it really hard to do this stuff in the ground when you got these low cars or low vehicles. Like at least something like a square body or whatever, or some sort of truck like I would normally do. When to get it underneath there, you can get pretty, you know, I mean, it's way up here, and if you jack it up a little bit, then you got tons of room. Do you want to sell it? I will be selling it as soon as I paint it. Yep. I definitely will. Huh. I don't know if it's clean enough there. Probably should spray that some more. I pressure washed it all when I brought it home, but I tried to get it all clean as possible, but I just missed spots or whatever. It's a little bit of rust spots up here, just like, not rust, like just surface from it being stone chipped. Again, I also find on these low cars, it's hard sometimes to paint really good on the underside of it. I don't really like that too much, but, and it's hard to prep all that without a hoist. I honestly don't know what they do in body shops and stuff like that, but it is what it is, I guess. It's not really that dirty. Like I said, I did get it all pressure washed when I brought it home, but I try to make sure, because you know, you can do it if you're not using rattle cans or whatever, you can do it really good with the 3M spray gun or whatever. It works really good, but I won't sell it as it sits there, family. $200. You could probably prime and block outside, but I wouldn't spray color outside. Don't forget primer sealer. Your respirator, dude. What motor and transmission? It's just a 305 car, 305 turbo 350. Nothing too exciting. Can you guys hear the fighter jets outside there? Yeah, probably for the way gas prices are right now, this is probably a pretty decent combo for a summer cruiser. It's got factory air conditioning, tilt cruise. It's very, very rust free. It's not going to be perfect when I paint it, but it doesn't look a whole lot different than when I got it, honestly. The paint was already gone off it, so it's not like I did all this, but I did rough it all up and everything. Yeah, it's dirt. Your respirator. You mean respirator when I spray it? Yes, I agree. I will definitely do that. All right, well. Any of you guys follow like Vice Grip Garage or anything? See the whole Tulsa ordeal there? Like, not ideal of a situation, doesn't seem like. Don't see Derek get mad too often, but he's definitely not very happy. I'm assuming there's a door seal supposed to be in here because it's definitely not there right now. Where's the manual transmission? Just 3-speed automatic. Yes, sir. Most of the bodywork is being done. As good as I could do it there, Ryder. I don't claim to be any expert. I do it as good as I can do it on a budget anyway, so it's pretty, I mean, it's decently close here. I try to always, as much as I can, every car is a little different, but this car was just a lot better when I started with it, to be totally honest. So I try to get like any like the little spots out where, you know, you can feel it with your fingernail or that kind of stuff, because you'll see it, right? If you can't feel it with your fingernail, in my opinion, and again, I'm just talking from a backyard paint job standpoint, if you can't feel it with your fingernail, then it's probably going to be okay when you put the, you know, if you put like a heavy build primer over it or something like that, like high build primer, it'll cover up a lot of that. You're gonna see already, like, I mean, I can see it just looking at this car. There's a little tiny divot right here. The door looks like it's got like a little tiny, probably opened a door against a post or something like that. You know, it's not gonna be perfect. And like I said, the big gotcha is there's the, on the lower rocker panel on the other side, it's got a kind of a humdinger in it. So I'm not gonna touch that because I don't feel like I have the proper tools to really fix that here. I could probably make it better, but it would be way tons of time and work and stuff, and so just don't think I'm gonna tackle that probably. Saturday's good. What I like about doing it the way that I do it is you could always go back, touch it up. I mean, anything that I get, it's just Summit Racing single stage paint there. I don't know why I'm not an affiliate with them. I should actually do some content with Summit Racing, but I mean, I use Summit Racing paint for everything. As a matter of fact, it's right behind me here. Let me grab it here. What is it? Tell you what I bought here. Oh, wrong one. Oh, wrong one again. Let me grab it. So all you need for Summit Racing paint is, I will show you guys right now. So this is Summit Racing Ultimate Jet Black. So I went through the colors that were there. Almost every time I've sprayed a vehicle, actually every single time I've sprayed with Summit Racing paint, I've always used a metallic. If I'm being totally honest, the first time I did it, everybody said, don't use metallics, because especially if you're a beginner, and that was the first time I had sprayed with like a real spray system, and it turned out amazing. And so then I didn't really realize a couple of the times that I was buying them that they were metallics. So I would say if you're going to use a metallic, probably a clear coat over top of it would be best case scenario, 2K clear, right? But I'm not going to do that. So it's single stage. This is a Ultimate Jet Black Summit. It's called SUM-UP360G. So, I mean, it's a gallon is like $110, $120, something like that. So, and then you need an activator. So I bought 2 bottles of activator here. There's 2 different levels of temperature. Well, there's multiple, depending on how cold it is. So this one's mid-temperature. So I think this is like 70 to 80 degrees. And then I got another one that's if it's over like 80 degrees and higher. So it's basically kind of like the Cure, I suppose, or whatever. But yeah, I also have to put this rear spoiler on because most of you guys weren't in the chat the other day when I showed you guys this, but I bought a rear spoiler for this car because it's a Berlinetta, and so it doesn't have that. And I'm not in love with trying to drill the holes to figure it out, but I'll figure it out. So unless something's weird there. You still got the red Camaro? I do. It's sitting outside so I could work on this one. I don't like leaving it outside, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I left it outside for the first time. If you guys watch like a video or two back there, first time it sat outside in like 26 years, and it got hit with hail, like golf ball size hail. I'm sorry, brother's coming out of the blue. Saturday's good. Oops, Roomba. Okay. But yeah, I do. I still do. I have a few. I haven't showed you some of the vehicles I bought for my next projects here, but yeah, I have a few vehicles coming up here. I actually have another F-body car, and then I have I got that 56 Bel Air, the Pontiac Le Mans Tempest. I don't really ever have any particular order. To be honest, why I did this one first is because I knew I was going to kind of be home for a little bit here, and I figured it would be a relatively quick project, and so that's kind of why I started with this one, because it's like runs and drives, and I really couldn't not paint it. It was in too rough of condition paint wise to not paint it. What else would I do with it, you know? So I could get it running and driving decent and stuff and then move on. But yeah, I wanted to paint it because I figured this would be a very good test for painting a black car too, because I haven't painted black before and everybody says it's the worst one to do. So why not give her the beans here and see what happens. But anyways, so there's some weird things here that I don't really like, but I don't know. I can't feel it. It looks like there's like imperfections in the paint, but there's not. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, so that's that. Where are the blocks here? There's a couple spots that I saw as we were going along here with the eraser. I could kind of feel. So I'm just gonna. I'm trying to take the orbital sander to it as little as possible here, because I'm just trying not to dust up my garage as much as possible, even though I've dusted it out multiple times already. But I almost should have put up a curtain so it didn't get onto all my tools and everything on the other side there. This one's a pretty good humdinger here too. Makes sense though. This would be a place where somebody would, you know, drag something along the side of the car or whatever, pretty low. Might have to take the orbital to this one. Yeah, that one's It's pretty good. I think I'm going to have to take the orbital to that one, which is fine. I'll just touch it up quick with like, if you use like a heavier grit on it, it doesn't take long. Like, I think, in my personal opinion, if you're just doing like an amateur job like this or whatever, I think you can get away with finishing with a 200 grit, which is pretty aggressive. But by the time you start sanding with that pad or whatever, it really wears down pretty quick till probably like a 300 to 400 grit. So, in my personal opinion, I think that's fine. Yeah, I wonder if it'll take off where all this glue was. Let's try that while you guys are hanging out here. Got nothing else going on. It'd be a lot easier than doing it with the orbital. It's hard to do it with the orbital on the low side of things here. Probably have to get some more sandpaper. Any of like the stone chips and stuff too, you're gonna see that if you don't get that out of there. So I might have to, yeah, I'll probably have to take the sander to all this, which is fine, I guess. End of the world, but yeah, all this stuff is pretty tedious. The other door hinges are really good, so it's easy to open and close. This one's kind of annoying. Probably have to open this one and get it better. What I said the other day was, I am amazed that this car is, you know, close to 50 years old, and being a Camaro and having like air conditioning and all that stuff, somebody hasn't put tinted windows in it yet. How would you not have tinted windows in the last 50 years? I mean, I don't think, it's not like being in North Carolina or Virginia or whatever, isn't like it's cold in the summertime or something. So unless, I don't know, it just seemed weird to me that nobody would have put some tint on it by now. Let's see how this looks here. Might take some of this off. It's got a few humdingers here too that need to be worked a little bit. Whew. Getting sweated up here. Prefer to do everything with the hand sander, but with the orbital sander, I should say, versus the hand sander, but don't always have an option. Yeah, just kind of some rock chips and stuff in it too, or whatever, but not too bad. Probably just rough up the bottom here a little bit, just so that it's got a place to bite to. But the problem with the orbital sander, especially in here, is it dusts out the whole car again. So I would rather not, but if we just maybe go quick with it, try not to leave it on too long. Car's gonna have to be cleaned one more time anyways, but yeah, it's getting pretty close to being ready for primer here, so whew, it's definitely some work. You can still feel like where all that glue and stuff was. I don't know, I feel like that glue is still on it, but I'm not sure. Not too sure. Oh, all right. What do we got going on here, guys? You guys are loud, then quiet, then loud, then quiet. What's up, Terry? How's it going, man? So, that's what we got happening here today. Same thing, new day. Got a pile of stuff I need to throw out here, apparently. Throw that out. All my rags there. So I was just using this, if you guys are just jumping in here, Johnny. I have a 77 TA 400 4-speed, nice. Hope you plan on taking the mirror off before you start painting. I am not, no, I'm not. Johnny, you have no faith. Should probably clean it though, huh? What do you think, Johnny? It's actually, Usually it's actually hard to paint the underside of these things because they're still on the car, and I don't think I've ever taken them off except for like square bodies or something where it's just screwed on. But this one has all the mirror controls and stuff, so to do that, that would be a whole nother ordeal there. So definitely not, but definitely not. I think it'll be okay though. I don't think she'll look too bad. Like I said, is it going to be perfect? Heck no. Will it be okay? Yeah. I've got another F-body car coming up for you there, Terry. There'll be another one. This one's going to be black, Terry. Just doing it black because it was factory color here, so it's factory black interior and stuff. I like the 4-speed cars, but as I'm getting older here, and I'm thinking of doing like more, I want to have one car that's got like air conditioning, tilt, cruise, the comforts and all that kind of stuff, right? That would drive any distance and still be decent. And I'm just thinking about that as I build these cars all the time now. I'm like, you know, do I want to go down a road of, you know, like if you were to, for example, go on power tour and you're only going to move freaking, if you're only going to move in half an hour 10 feet, you know, doing the manual shifter thing, yeah, I don't know, I'm not really feeling it as much anymore. I like them though. Shift kit, definitely, I agree. Replace right shoulder, can't get it anytime soon. That sucks. Where are you from, Terry? What's up, Sean? How's it going, man? Yeah, definitely a shift kit. My Camaro's actually got a really good setup in it for, I mean, honestly, if it didn't have, it drives okay for having a bigger stall in it and stuff. It's got, oh, cool. Yeah, it's got, my Camaro's got like a billet turbo 350 with all the good parts in it and a 3600 converter, which is not crazy, but it's got 342 gears, so it's kind of tall for it. So it still drives okay, and it still can get up in RPM without, because it doesn't have overdrive, of course, right? But that's my only downfall. And so if I'm going to build something for myself these days that I'm actually going to plan on driving somewhere, I kind of want overdrive too. I'm not saying you can't drive it without that, but 2,500 for what? To stall in my other Camaro, it's got a 3,600. I actually was trying to put a 4,000 in it, but I didn't have the right flex plate, and I was rushing to get it together for the duct tape drags. I had a 76 Camaro years ago. I sold it to my brother. 3,600 stall, Zach's. But yeah, so if you go back and kind of watch my videos from duct tape drags there, you'll see that car. But actually, I just had it on the channel here not too long ago, putting exhaust and stuff on it. Still haven't really driven it. I messed around with the carb as soon as I was trying to get it. It's got like 2-year-old gas and stuff in it. I was messing around with the carb just to get it running and driving to get it in and out of the garage, and then I stopped on it. But that one's a pretty fun car to drive around and stuff. It needs the one side is exhaust adjusted a bit, a couple more 22.5s, and then a straight to kind of make it closer, because it's like, even coming out of the garage, I mean, it's got that much ground clearance with that exhaust there, so it's kind of annoying. Hearst Promatic 2 shifter with a shift kit would be nice. 8-ball shifter knob would be nice. It's funny, I still have the factory shifter in my Camaro after all these years, and it's funny, like, just muscle memory of being able to shift it so good and stuff. That car I shift at 7,000 RPM, and I was manually shifting it. I mean, the second that you move that shifter, it's like instant. Like, there's probably, you know, 100 RPMs of, you know, that I can shift it within. So it's that car's fun. But it just, I've never had a transmission that shifted that quick before for an automatic or whatever. Usually it's like, bah, bah. But it's supposed to be a 550 horsepower combo, but it's probably like 500 with accessories and all that stuff. It's not, it's way turned down though. Like I said, I've never had it to full capacity yet, like full power, because I've never had the timing turned up. It's only got 22 degrees of timing in it. Where am I from? I live in Oklahoma. Nice, heck yeah. I love the cars with that body style. The guy next door had a couple Firebirds, 75 or 76 Camaro. It was fun. We did burnouts at his garage until the tire popped, but the engine did nice. Pontiacs weren't exactly known for their amazing oiling system. If you go back in like videos from like probably, I don't know when I finally stopped it. I was playing around with intros at one point there because I thought I wanted to show people what I do on my channel. And so I actually used to have a 76 Firebird way back in the day. So if you go back probably like 6 months or something like that, my intro actually had that car in it. It was a 76 Firebird there. It was a factory 400 car as well. Busy sanding away. Yes, sir. His mom even got in and did a burnout. I was dying laughing. That's funny. I ran a 602 crate late model. Great motor to invest in. Nice. Yeah, for sure. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not, I don't know. I've always had small block Chevy stuff, but I'm starting to get away from it a little bit. It's really hard to argue with LS stuff, and I know everybody hates on LSs, and don't get me wrong, I'll use what I have. Like even this car, I'm not going to pull it out because it doesn't make sense to pull a good working, running and driving engine out to put something else in it. Now, you're going to see I have a car coming up here, another F-body that has no drivetrain in it, and I actually had bought that LS1 for that Bel Air, and I'm starting to have reservations about doing that maybe, so I might actually put that LS1, and I might not even do anything. As a matter of fact, I have a Texas Speed. It's a pretty good size cam for that LS1 sitting right on the shelf over beside me here, but I'm thinking about either putting that in or something like that. We also have, this is actually the motor out of my son's truck here laying on the floor, wherever it is, here somewhere. But that's a pretty healthy 400 if we ever could get it put back together how it was there. It's 400 small block. It's got Edelbrock E-Street heads, comp 280H cam, 286H cam, flat top pistons. Like should be like almost 500 horse as well, probably like 470, 460, something like that. Have you shown the rear end of that car yet? Does it have a spoiler? I thought you were in here the other day. It does not have a spoiler. Does anybody? If you guys know anything about these Berlinettas, it does not have a spoiler. So I bought a spoiler for it, as a matter of fact. I thought I showed you already there. Sean, were you in here the other day when I showed you? So I bought the spoiler for it. So I got that and the two end pieces. I'm terrified to drill the holes for it because I don't know. I'm kind of scared to drill the holes for it, but I'm probably gonna do it. I was originally thinking I'll just buy it and then I'll just paint it when I paint the car, but then I won't install it in case because what if I sell it and then somebody wants it as the Berlinetta without the spoiler? So after I thought that, I was like, I'll put up a post on social media. So I threw it up on one of my social media pages there, and I said, what do you guys think? Should I put the spoiler on it or not? And everybody's like, yes, it looks horrible without the spoiler. And I was like, okay, that's what I thought too. So that's why I ended up buying it. So I didn't even have it then. Actually, I asked people. I'm like, so then I started looking for them, and they're like $1,000. I'm like, what? Because it's a 3-piece spoiler on these cars. And I never really realized before that the early cars, like 70 to 73 cars, only have a 1-piece spoiler, and the rear end is completely different on them. So it was kind of an ordeal, and I just found this spoiler by accident because I was looking, and I just kept looking, and I actually searched some random thing that was not even really related to it, and it kind of came up. So my favorite style, Rockford. Half the time I listen to your chat while working or working on something else. Nice. My favorite style, Rockford Files. I don't know if I've ever seen that show, to be honest. Are you talking without the spoiler or with the spoiler? Everybody seems to hate it without the spoiler. I'm amazed that somebody hasn't put a spoiler on this car over the years, actually, to be honest, but probably the same thing as me. They're terrified to mess around and drill holes in it. I'm scared because I don't really know, like, from the factory, there had to have been, I don't know, man. So how does this work? Yeah, so this is the left-hand side, so it'd be like this. So this would be, that's weird. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So this would be like the top side here, and this is where they would have put the seal to stop stuff from getting in there, I guess. So I don't know, what do I do? Do I just put I don't know. I'm kind of reserved about putting it on there because and you got to be pretty precise with those holes because it has to fit the body line. You could wall the holes out a little bit if it's a little bit off, but I'm gonna have to look inside the trunk because I don't want to drill a hole and be completely off. It's factory. But it's not bad. Other than this, you can see, I think I showed you guys this the other day already, but you can kind of see it's got a little crack in there and nothing too serious there. I don't know. I should just take the body hammer and just kind of give this a little tap. If I can get it to go back together, then I could probably just, I don't know. The whole thing all around, I didn't really want to do. I almost didn't buy this car for this particular reason because I didn't want to have to deal with it. But I'm always open to learning new things and trying some stuff out. So it's like, whatever, man. All right. Well, it's coming along. This car is really, really straight, though. It honestly is pretty decent. But yeah, I mean, like I said, those spoilers are expensive. Like a cheap one on some of the classifieds is like $500, $600. So I got a better deal on it than that. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, check out all the content, watch the videos. If you guys want to get a membership, you can get early access to videos and stuff like that. I don't sell any merch and stuff like that yet, so I'm kind of working on that. I've thought about it. I've had actually quite a few people ask me about getting a hat or shirts and stuff. Alpha Maui is my sponsor here, so alphamaui.com. Go to alphamaui.com and use the code CRUISIN, and they'll give you 15% off your order there. So they have tons of cool stuff there. Actually, I used to have I do have a ton of their stuff, but they have a lot of cool stuff. They got like, you can get like watch bands, full watches, you know, freaking, you know, like the sun shirts, all that kind of stuff or whatever. So, but I mostly wear their hats. What's up, Peter? I wouldn't even think of putting a spoiler on it. I like originality. Yeah, you're not totally wrong, probably. I feel like if I don't put the spoiler on it, it won't be able to sell. I don't think anybody will buy it without the spoiler. I don't think people really like them without the spoiler. I don't know. I like that it's completely different than all the other ones out there, because you don't really see that. You really don't see them without the spoiler. So, like I said, I could paint it and just give it to the next person and be like, "You guys want to put it on? Put it on." I mean, I don't like it without the spoiler, and like I said, I just asked. What's up, Smokey? How's it going? So I feel like if I don't put the spoiler, I feel like it's a very, very small amount of people that would like it without the spoiler versus the people that like it with the spoiler. So I don't know. And I don't know if I say, hey, I've got it and you can install it yourself, people would have reservations about buying it because it's like the same thing as me. But then what if I put it on and then the person's like, why'd you put that on a Berlinetta? I would have rather it wasn't on there. See, and that's the problem. I don't know. I'm almost thinking in my head, I should paint the entire car, paint the spoiler, advertise it for sale, and then if it doesn't sell, I'll put it on. And if it does sell, I'll be like, here you go, you can have it, whatever. No spoilers, mad. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually very, very surprised even anybody on here is saying no spoiler. That actually really, really surprises me. It's a clone as soon as the spoiler goes on. You're thinking like a Z28 clone. An honest original car is worth more money. A spoiler shouldn't be a selling point. Huh. I don't know. I'm surprised at you guys here. I'm actually really, really surprised that even one of you guys said that. I wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't have thought you guys would have thought that. I don't know. It's just, it is unusual to see. So maybe people would, I don't know. In my head, I just feel like 95% of people want the spoiler. And if I don't, I guess I could keep the spoiler for another project down the road. I'll probably never need it again, but Have people with good taste in the chat. It looks funny to me. To me, when you have it without like if you have a car like this without the spoiler, it's almost like what do they say? It's kind of like a European type look almost, where they kind of go for that non-spoiler look. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm not sure I'm with you on this one. Let me move this. I'll turn it around and see if new people come in here. I want to see people that aren't in here normally and get their opinions. Oh, that was me. Let me turn this around so you guys can actually see the car with the spoiler. Without the spoiler. I don't know. I'm not agreeing with you guys, I don't think. At least I'm not anyways. I suppose it's a personal taste thing, but let's see if we get anybody in here that thinks it looks better without the spoiler, because I'm just not seeing it. Spoiler makes that car look very different. I agree. Different good or different bad there, Smokey? What do you think? I suppose if you were looking for a Berlinetta car, which if you guys have ever searched around for a second-gen Berlinetta, I don't think there's many around. I can't remember, if I'm being totally honest, the last time I even saw one, like for sale or being driven or anything. Like I don't know. You guys are gonna see I have another car coming up there. I had my 67 Camaro for almost 20 years, no spoiler. Well, I think that's a different type of body style though, where it fits that better. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to keep, can I open and close the door, please? Why? There's nothing too exciting about it. It has power windows and stuff. It has power windows, so I could roll it down, but yeah. I don't know. I'm not agreeing with you guys here. Apparently everybody in this chat thinks it should have no spoiler though. To me, it just looks funny without the spoiler. I don't know. It looks weird. Ugh, gotta clean up my mess here. There you go. That gives you a better angle. I wish I had 4 of the wheels that were on there right now. The door definitely sags. The pins are toast on it. I think it's beyond just needing hinges probably, but I think I have a set of pins here I could maybe throw in it. I'll have to look. But yeah, I don't know. But I like those wheels, and those are actually Berlinetta wheels, but it's only got one of them. Hey, just checking out live streams again. Just stumbled across you from Kentucky, USA. What's up, man? How's it going, Paul? Were you in here yesterday? Maybe? I'm in Oklahoma. I'm in Kentucky quite a bit, though. If you're from Kentucky, do you know Busted Radio Grad? She's in here all the time, friend of mine. Why am I drinking? It's Gatorade, bud. I should get Gatorade to sponsor me. Haven't seen you in a bit, Gorilla. What do you think, Gorilla? Let's take a gander at this here. Let's see if I can make this work here. Let's see how that'd be, I guess. Wait, how's that work? Is this the left-hand one? You guys can't tell me you think that doesn't look better with that on there. Come on now. It would be tricky to get it perfect though. The used spoiler I bought was missing one of the bolts here, which I think I could probably screw it in from the other side, but I think 3 days or nights ago. Oh, okay, cool. Well, welcome back, man. I've been sanding for about the last 3 or 4 days is what it feels like. I'm pretty sure I'm close to 20 hours of sanding this car, so it's getting pretty close anyways, but quarters look clean. Yeah, it's rust-free pretty much. As you can see where I just put a little Bondo, there was a hole the size of a quarter, and that was the rust on the entire car. That was it. So, seems pretty good. But, I don't know. What do you think, Gorilla? Spoiler or no spoiler? I guess it would be like this. Let's see here. How would it be? Something like this. Right? This way. Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. And then this is probably upside down. I don't know. What's cool about it is it changes the look drastically of the car from a videoing standpoint too. Like if you're looking at the before and after of how this car kind of looked before and after, it's a big difference on having the spoiler versus not having the spoiler. The only thing that I don't love about it is because trying to I mean, it's all original. The trunk's original and the quarter's original and all that stuff. And then drilling holes in them, I'm just not in love with it. I've got to be honest. I'd rather somebody else take it from me and do it if they want to do it. But yeah, exactly. RD, make sure you put it on right. See? Gorilla knows where it's at. Big bonus, I'm in the Rust Belt. I've never seen these spoilers on a Corvette. Well, this is a Camaro. Are you restoring this old car? What kind is it? It's a 1979 Camaro here. I guess I don't know if I can show you guys the whole car better. Sorry, I got stuff everywhere. I'll show you guys a little bit better of the whole car here. Yeah, 1979 Camaro. We're just talking about whether or not the spoiler looks better on these cars or not than not having the spoiler. And I feel like it looks better with the spoiler, and everybody else feels like it looks better without the spoiler. 1979 Camaro, yep. It's a Berlinetta. That's why it doesn't have a spoiler on the back. So, I suspect all the Berlinettas that I've seen over the years have already had the spoiler put on them because people didn't like it without that. But apparently everybody in this chat likes it without that, so I don't know. Maybe I'd find the one guy. Oh, see, RD put it on his. Spoiler, looks way better from behind the car too. See? See? Oh, now we're balancing out the scales here, guys. Had the same one, ended up putting a spoiler on mine. I don't know, I just feel like that's what everybody wants, and I feel like if I don't put it on, it's gonna be hard to sell. Unless there's just that one in however many people that are very interested in getting the car without that. So I don't know. I don't like it without that myself, but depends on if you're going for loudness or look. If you guys are new here and you're just jumping in now, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and check out all my videos there. Watch all the videos. If you guys want to jump on a membership and support me, that's cool. Anything that I make on this channel always goes back into the channel. That's why I have a yard full of cars here. So I always try to keep about 5 or 6 of them ahead of myself here so that I can always have something to work on. Generally, I try to do it these days. I try to just, as much as I can. I can't always do it, but I try to just do it as like a one video deal because that's kind of what people want to see. So I think the square body, that was an unusual one. The square body video actually did pretty good in that little bit of a series. Well, a couple of the videos did really well. A couple of them did. Eh. Who's gonna paint the car? Me. Does it got front and rear sway bars? I have no idea. I don't think so. Make a vote. Berlinettas are girls' cars. Paint it powder blue and it will sell. Who's gonna paint the car? It is me. I say you straight pipe it. Well, it's got one straight pipe right now because it got ripped off of the one side. The Type LT tends to stick on the road a lot better than a Berlinetta. Got what color? Black. Just because it was black already. James is kind of right. If it's a bland 70s color, it would sell better with no spoiler. We have evil trolls here. Make the suspension better. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's a 305 car. Is it really going to matter? I don't think people are buying a 305 car to be trying to do some crazy track stuff with it. What else we got here? It's like, but I like it. this is one of those cars like I'm not in love with getting rid of this car because it is literally rust free. Like there's a couple tiny little spots of it, but if I was going to keep this car for myself, I'd probably spend another $1,000 on it before I painted it, just to buy like a front and rear bumper cover, fix a few of the little odd things there and stuff, and then it would be good. 305 can make 400 horsepower. Looks like an 80s Monza. You should do a live poll where you ask them, doesn't look better. That's a good point, actually. I've never done a poll on this channel. It always asks me. It always says, what's the question? Let's see if it'll... Let me see here. Man, I haven't done it. Have you seen the crankshaft in a 305? Yes, I have. My 350 was a 4-bolt main. How much horsepower is it stock? No. Stock is probably like, in this area, 79, probably like 120, well, it's a 305 2-barrel of all things, so. Mini trucking. Haven't seen you in a while, bud. How's it going? Oh, not much. We're just discussing here on whether or not it looks better with the rear spoiler or without the rear spoiler. I wish I could figure out how to do it. Let me see here. I've never done it because I've never had a reason to do it, but let me see here. Oh, there we go, maybe. Poll is... Does it look better? I'm just setting up a poll here. Let me try this out. All right, let's see what happens here. There you go. Let's see what everybody thinks here. Get a 4-barrel. I have a 4-barrel intake sitting in my garage. I actually have one sitting right in front of me. I have a 4-barrel with a Holly carb sitting on top of it here. It's okay. Just wondering if you wanted to get a vote. What's the point in this stream? I just jump on here when I'm doing. I literally just jump on here when I'm doing little piddly things that I'm recording a video for this, for my next YouTube video essentially, but people don't really want to watch me sand for freaking 16 hours. So when I'm just doing little piddly in between stuff, I jump on here and talk to you guys. The reason I started it was because I was trying to, somehow we all got sidetracked here. I don't know how we got on this topic of the spoiler, but I was using this, I had just bought this eraser thing because this whole car had pinstriping all over it. Some of it was gone already, but there was tons of it left. And so I tried sanding it all down, but it gums up the pads. That's how I've always done it, but it's a lot of work. And so everybody in the live feed last time was like, hey, buy this little, just buy this little eraser thing. It'll come off super easy. Well, it works to a certain extent for sure. I would say it's gonna help the process of getting it off, but it wasn't a perfect solution, but it's kind of, I guess, it's one of the tools that definitely helps. Huh. See? Interesting. Interesting. Sorry, I started this madness. Let me see. I don't know why it had a third option there. Does it have air shocks? No. It actually has new shocks. Well, it had new shocks at some point. I forget off the top of my head what brand they were. DC doesn't need a spoiler. I got a 67 283 with a 327 cam and double hump heads in my garage. Nice. Is that smooth eraser wheel or the one that's like a gear? So that's funny that you asked that, Minnie, because I saw both options, but this is just the flat one. So I've already worn it half off, and I only did like, I literally did the door and the fender just one straight length, and that's all I did, and that's all I got out of it. So if I was to do the whole car, you'd need multiple wheels. Now I'm kind of wondering, now that you're saying that, because I sort of forgot about that, there was that option. Maybe with the flap, if you, because I had already gone over, I don't know if you guys were in here the other day, some of you guys were, I think, but I went through the whole car the other day. I took a scraper and I scraped all of the stuff off of it, like, so that basically we wouldn't, I might have to run this pole again because apparently had an extra option there. Where the option one is getting the, all right, we're gonna have to start this over again here. Let me see here. Let me try this again. Should it have a rear spoiler? There. Since you guys are all voting for different ones there. All right, that was an unfair one. No, what do you mean no? Where'd everybody go? That's on my team. You guys. That wasn't fair. Oh man, you guys are funny. The gear works better, but allows the stripe not to smear as bad. Keeps touch cooler. So, Minnie, when you're doing it with the fan style one, are you running it the drill on high? Because I found like when I was running it on high, it was wanting to jump. There was a guy in here earlier, Dave, I think his name was, and he was saying they make an actual tool. So if you're doing this all the time, they make a tool that has adjustable speeds and a water pad and stuff like that. So I don't know. Dang it, man. What the heck? Got to get some more people in here. Where's all the people that have better taste than these guys? Maybe if I paint it and I don't have it on there, I won't hate it. Minnie, did you say that you liked it with the spoiler or without the spoiler? I need to hear your opinion here because everybody else has talked in the chat already about it. Thanks, Riley. Appreciate it, man. Done it with a drill for years, huh? Like I said, I was talking about this earlier. I think as like using it for like a hobbyist and you're not in a frantic rush, it's probably fine, but what's up?
Just wondering, timeline.
I don't know. I was just hanging out. You could, why, supper?
It's not started.
Yeah, you can start it anytime. That's fine.
Like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I was just hanging out talking to them. They're answering some questions here for me. We're having a heated debate here. Hey, come here for a second. Come here for a second. We need a woman's opinion here. I'm gonna get my wife over here to see what her opinion is here. She doesn't know what she's getting an opinion on yet.
Ready to be on camera. I was like sitting at the computer.
Okay, let's get a professional's opinion here.
It has like nice hair right now. No, it should not have a rear spoiler. That's
What?
stupid.
You don't think I should put
No,
this on it?
I think it's a waste of money.
Dang,
I think
man.
it looked better without it, and I think it was a waste of money, and I think
Man,
he shouldn't have ordered
I'm
it.
getting slaughtered here
I already
today.
knew he shouldn't have had it. That was my opinion from the beginning. When he said he ordered it, I said that was stupid. There you go. There was my answer.
Dang, man, look at me. I'm getting smoked in the...
Look at, they all agree with me.
What did he
Interesting.
say? John said, I sanded my brother Chevelle down with a sandblaster because he went to repaint it a different color. Only took 35 minutes. Nice. I don't use sand. I would use like crushed glass or crushed walnuts. Then it doesn't warp the metal with the heat.
Doesn't this car run? I mean, it's in the
Yeah, it
garage.
does, it does,
And
yeah.
you didn't ask me to push it in, so I'm assuming it runs.
Does it currently run, or are you just trying to do live streams where you fix it up? Yeah, this is just me doing, I mean, I'm not usually talking like this. I'm usually working while I'm talking, but all you guys got me sidetracked today, so.
Oh, good job.
Big Dog, if you haven't been in here before, usually I'm just kind of, when I'm on these live streams, sometimes she'll jump on here with
they
me.
like the spoiler.
I like with the spoiler and the rear window louver. Ah, see, apparently somebody
Only
told me that
23% of the people
I
said
know.
yes.
I know.
If you guys actually really all like the spoiler, there'd be a lot more votes for yes than no. That's just what I gotta say here.
So someone told me that the Berlinettas had the factory rear window louvers, which she'll know. I'm not going to say anything because I'm not going to tell you guys what else we have going on here, but
I didn't
that's
realize
probably
how many cars
true.
we had until I typed
So-
them all in the computer today.
Yeah,
And then I was like, oh,
right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
We actually do have quite a few cars going
yeah,
on.
not bad, not bad.
It looks like
Hey,
more
wife's
on...
a smart lady.
I know.
Oh, Sean said no. Wait a minute. I thought Sean said.
no, see?
Wait. I thought Sean said.
Oh, you
spoiler
got one
earlier.
more vote for yes. I don't know if your yeses are going to win it or not. I don't know. Yeah, see, that
For
particular
that
year.
particular year, I wouldn't.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that'll make my life easier if I don't put it on.
I
So
mean,
maybe I'll just paint it the color
I
of the
already
car
said
and
I'm
then
not
let
drilling the
somebody
holes
else.
in this car. If there's any holes being drilled in this car, I already told
I
them
cannot
I'm not
believe
doing
that
it.
71% of you don't think that it looks better with the spoiler. That is really surprising to me. But yes, anyways, big dog, yes. So normally when I'm doing these live streams, I do it in between when I'm filming videos. So like I'm filming, I'm not gonna say every single day, but like I put out 2 videos a month usually, sometimes 3. So in between, I'm just doing piddly little things. Like I said, you guys don't want to watch me sand here for 16 hours. So sometimes if I'm sanding or I'm just like doing stuff like this, that's how this whole stream started, because this is the first time that I
Oh,
ever
how did it
used this
work?
one. Not bad. It helped for sure, but it's not the end all be all. But it definitely. Mini truck in here was saying so. There's other
Oh,
ones
look,
that you can
got
get
some
the.
more yeses. You got some more yeses coming in. Oh, interesting. They're feeling bad for you. Those
Yeah.
those are like, what do you call that? Pity yeses.
I was
Pity
behind.
yeses.
Does it currently run, or are you just doing this to fix up the car? It does run, yes. Yeah. So I'm painting it now. It runs and drives. It needs a tune-up because it's been sitting for 5 years.
Yeah, John, he thinks he wants a spoiler because then he feels like he's fast all the time.
I mean, to be totally
Yes,
honest,
it
guys,
runs.
it doesn't really matter to me because the next car I could just buy with the spoiler. The only reason I was going to put the spoiler on it was because I thought it would be hard to sell without it, and I might still be right here yet, but we'll see, I guess.
We'll see.
So I think then, okay, we'll see when this poll closes out here.
Let
but
it go for a little longer. I mean, maybe you might. I think those are pity yeses. I think that the wife came on and they're like, oh, we feel bad for him.
it does run, big dog. Yep.
We
does
feel
run.
bad. He's got all the no's and she's got all the
Type
yeses.
LT had louvers.
Other way around.
But the Type LT, I don't think you can get the Type LT in 79 though. I think that ended in 76, I believe. All right, well.
Can I go
Yes,
back?
we can.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
gonna go make supper now.
All right, sounds
All right,
good.
I was just coming to make sure you would come eat if I made it.
All right, well, anyways, we're just kind of goofing around here today,
Oh, you
apparently.
have fun.
I did do what I was supposed to do when I came back out here, but they got me totally.
I finished my work today.
They got me totally sidetracked here, arguing with me about this rear spoiler. I don't even know, we weren't even talking about that at all, and all of a sudden, Sean had to get started about it.
Why did that become a situation?
Because there was a whole bunch of people in the chat saying, yeah, it looks better without it. I'm like, what?
I kind of agree with them.
I'm kind of surprised.
I didn't even have to think. I didn't even have to think twice.
Should you talk about movie spoilers? Wow.
Man, I hate movies.
Wow. Spoiler, louver, and the rear fender flares to touch it off. I do like the rear window louvers. They're getting hard to find, actually. That most people don't realize that they were like metal, the factory ones. Looks way better without, huh? Interesting. Oh, look, the scales are tipping here, guys. We're getting 44%. I gotta wait until it's over 50% and close it out. No, like, to be honest, I wouldn't have thought that. I really thought without the spoiler, people hate these things. And I literally asked on social media about it. I made a post and I was like, what do you guys think? And everybody was like, way better with the spoiler. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought too. But now you guys are saying, not all of you guys, but a bunch of you guys are saying without. I had a 75 Type LT with spoiler and louvers. Nice. I like I never used to. It used to be a thing, obviously, that I never really cared for, but it's grown on me over the years, like the weird impact bumpers and stuff. That's totally grown on me, so I don't know. Man, I can't believe you guys. That's really funny. Well, anyways, well, mini trucking. Anyways, I'm gonna have to try because I literally only bought one of these to try it out to see if it was even gonna work. I could see how the flap would work though. So I had already peeled all the pinstripes off. So I don't know. I tried to peel the pinstripes off a little bit with this in a couple spots and it wouldn't work. It wouldn't even lift them. So maybe it's because it doesn't have the flaps and it needs that to start working it loose to kind of give it that little snap or whatever. I'm not sure. So maybe next time I'll try one of the ones with flaps then. I had an 80 Type LT. I'm not sure about that there, DC. I didn't think they made them. Maybe they did. I don't know. I can't argue with you because I'm not sure. I suspect Berlinettas are pretty rare these days, though. When's the last time you guys saw a Berlinetta on the road or at a car show or really in general? How am I running the wheel? Just parallel to the line. Like, so the lines that I was doing were just along the bottom here. There, of course, it was just stripes this way or whatever, and I tried running it along the line first, following the line, and it wasn't working that great. So then I tried it up and down a little bit just to see. I ran it on low speed max, so it's like half speed or whatever. Not sure. Not too sure. Huh. I can't believe how many of you guys. We're almost 50% here, though. Need some more people to jump in to take my side. Like I said, I don't want to really drill holes in it because what if I do that and then one of you guys, or like someone like you guys, yeah, I know, that's what I thought too. So I don't know. I mean, they're all around the same price. I just picked one. I think this is like a 3M one or whatever. I just grabbed one or whatever. I didn't think there was any difference in brands and stuff. But it isn't super wide, and it is hard on the drill for sure, especially when you're so low like that and working at that angle. It's not the greatest anyways, but I said to me it would almost make more sense if there was one on like an angle grinder or something where you could hold it like this and then boom, like that. That would be like, then you'd be rocking, but it would probably be too fast maybe. Most of the time you're trying to do it and not take the paint off too, right? So maybe it's not supposed to be quite as aggressive. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but it works, but it was just a little bit, it didn't work as good as everybody said it would work. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'll buy another one, try the flap wheel. I would have liked to have tried it before the, kill a spider. I would have liked to have tried it before the stripes were off of it. I didn't really think about it until afterwards. I've never really tried it. I don't know why. I didn't really realize if they were that expensive or whatever, I guess. Gotta balance. If you're doing the, if you redo the poll when no one wins, count me in for one place. Well, we're pretty close, about half and half here anyways. All right, man, take care. Thanks for stopping in, Sean. But yeah, anyway, so no, it was no big deal, but yeah, it was funny. I just said I literally just bought it because I thought people would want it. Like I said, I could just paint it and give it to somebody or whatever, and wouldn't be the end of the world for somebody else to put it on if they wanted to, I guess, or whatever. But I kind of hate to drill holes in it if it's something that somebody doesn't want down the road. I can't believe almost, it's like actually over 50%. 19 votes, and interesting. I don't know. Maybe people like them. Like I said, this day and age, it's just not something you see very often. If you see a Camaro, it's almost always got a spoiler. So maybe that's why you guys like it more. I don't know. It's not for everybody, I guess. Like I said, I suppose I could just paint it without it and advertise it without it and then with the spoiler if they want it, or for a little extra of the spoiler or whatever, because I could keep it around for another project, but whatever, I guess. Anyways, well, we got quite a bit done here today, actually. I really could probably almost get this thing into primer, but I'm gonna probably not today. Would have been almost the perfect day for it, but I didn't really have time to do it today. Object is to maximize your profit and minimize your overhead. You are correct, sir. Hey, Kevin. Is there air shocks in the back of that Camaro? It's really high. It's sitting on jack stands there, Peter. That's why. Oh, we got lots of votes in here now. Looks better without. Man, I cannot believe that there's that many people that think so. That's funny. But no, it's actually super, super low. Like actually too low with when it's on the ground. I think the rear springs have kind of flat. Like these cars are already kind of like that from the factory, and then after the springs settle a little bit and stuff, 25 years. Rolling out. Have a good evening. Well, thanks for stopping by, Minnie. It's good to see you again. I haven't seen you in a bit. Yeah, I've just been kind of jumping on and off here as normally I'm not home for this long in a row or whatever. I'm always on the road picking up stuff I don't need or whatever. So I've been home for the last week here. So every time I'm home, I figured I'll just jump online and see if I can grab some more subscribers. So if you guys are new in here, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and check out all the content, all that kind of stuff or whatever. So if you want to get a membership, you can. Just help support the channel. So if you don't, it's cool. Just watch the videos. That's the main thing for me. So too many with them on. See, and maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's why people are starting to like it a little bit more without it, because it's makes it completely unique. But to me, this style is kind of something, like I said, it's almost like European, I guess, where they kind of go with for that weird kind of different look to them. I think it looks decent on the early first gen Camaros without the spoiler. Like if you get into like the 70 to 73 cars, I think that actually looks pretty good. But funny, nobody wanted to go against the wife until she left. That's funny, man. But I don't really care either way. Like I said, to me, it would be easier to not do it. So maybe that would be a better option for me. Rather almost spend the time to spend a little more time like prepping the body and taking some of the like taillights and things like that out versus like putting the spoiler on it. If I guess if somebody wants that, I don't know. Oh, maybe that's, I guess that's funny. There's a lot of votes for you guys to be at 57% of people saying that it's not, it shouldn't have it. Well, I got this thing pretty much ready for, I think I got this thing pretty much almost ready for primer. Just needs a little bit more sanding. Probably do that tonight yet. And then I'm hoping, might even be as early as tomorrow, I'll get this thing in a primer. I was thinking I would maybe paint it tomorrow, but I definitely won't have the time. By the time I get it out, because I have to get out the jack stands, make sure it's all, once you get it outside and you see it in the light and you're like, oh, I missed some spots and stuff like that, and then prime it, tape it, paint it, all that stuff, whatever. It's all just, takes a long time to start taping up all the trim and glass and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's gone along anyways. I think it's gonna look okay. It's definitely, I mean, I literally could have just gave it a rough scuff and just painted it how it was when I first got it, and it still would have looked pretty decent, but it's gonna look a lot better now because it just got a lot, it's like a lot straighter than I normally start with, and just got a lot less rust and all that kind of stuff. But Charles Mango looks better without it. But yeah, I agree with you, man. It's there is a lot of them out there with it, way more than with not. Like I said, I don't think there, I mean, if you were to think of honestly, even like a second gen or a third gen Berlinetta, I don't think I've seen a third gen Berlinetta Camaro or a second gen, if I'm being honest, in probably 20 years at least. I used to see the odd Berlinetta Camaro when I was younger. I probably could have bought one when I was, buying my Camaro. And some of the factory 305 cars and stuff like that, and they had the digital dash and all that stuff or whatever. I probably could have bought one of those back then, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know if a lot of them just got to the scrapyard or whatever the deal was, but it is what it is. So, well, a fairly balanced poll though. It's not a landslide for sure. I see some spectacular Earl Scheib paint jobs in '99. Oh, you've seen some, is that what you're saying? I agree. I mean, for me, it's just about getting them back on the road. I just want to make sure that, they look decent. I mean, they kind of run and drive and stop and whatever. And to the point where somebody else can just kind of finish up the project, or sometimes I finish them. It just kind of depends, right? But it gets like it gets pretty expensive if you start doing every single little thing, and also the time, right? It's for me to just finish I can pretty much tell you off the top of my head here what this car kind of needs to be more perfect here. It's basically to be finished. It would need carpet, driver's seat. There's a little rust patch that needs to be fixed on the floor and the inside. What else there? I'd probably put a front nose cone on it, or maybe somebody that's better than me at fixing it would fix it more perfect. New tail lights, and really just probably some basic mechanical stuff like the ignition switch rod needs to be replaced, and that I'll put back together. It needs a center console, that's all beat up in there. Dash pad, it needs a belt for the power steering, and it needs a belt for the air conditioning. And other than that, it's actually a pretty solid car, but that also gives me the ability to paint it, make it look way better. Maybe put some let's see what we got here. It gives me an opportunity to sell it for a sensible price to somebody. I've said this a few times now, like I think a car like this would be a perfect like father-son project, like where a guy can get it, you know, when the kid's 15 or something like that. They could finish up these little things together. It's not a big expense, but it's just like a little bit of time here and there. Or someone that's getting new into the hobby and they're like, okay, this is pretty, I mean, if you're gonna own an older car, this is all very basic stuff after it's painted, right? So I think it would be good for someone like that doesn't care about it being perfect and wants a good deal. Keep it, don't spoil a great thing. Huh, interesting. That's funny. I just wouldn't have thought that, there'd be that many people. I have thought there wouldn't be anybody, to be honest. I just didn't think people liked these cars. Back when I was younger, if you would have seen one of these cars, everybody would be like, holy cow, that car is hideous. But apparently they're gaining popularity now because you just don't see them anymore, right? Like I said, anybody in the chat that's an older guy or whatever, maybe like, if you're like 30 or older, when's the last time you saw a Berlinetta Camaro? Or just in general, like second or third gen? Probably a very, very long time ago. So, and to find one that's like just about rust free, fairly straight body, you know, running and driving. And, you know, like I said, I could probably sell this car for $6,500 or less when it's kind of painted and done. Maybe even a little less than that if somebody comes and picks it up or whatever. 3 days after I had my 57 Chevy painted, his 5-year-old drove down the side of it, raking it with handlebars on his tricycle. Oofta, that must have been your son's kid. Back again. What's up, Busted? We'll be wrapping up pretty soon here. We were having a debate about the spoiler here. Somehow Sean got us in talking about this earlier, and then everybody was arguing about it. So we were laughing. What do you think, Busted? Better with or without the spoiler? If I would have thought without the spoiler, I wouldn't have bought it. I was actually kind of waiting to keep working on it until I got the spoiler the other day, but now everybody's saying, or a bunch of people are saying, that it doesn't need the spoiler. They think it looks better without it. See, that's what I thought too. Is it surprising to you that there's that many people that are saying no spoiler? Because I was just saying, like, back when I was younger, if somebody would have pulled in with a Berlinetta Camaro like this without a real spoiler, you'd have got laughed out of the parking lot. Not my son, my buddy. Oh no. I'm a spoiler and scoop guy. I agree. Yeah, Z28 hood, or even like a low cowl. I'm not like a big cowl guy, but I like a low cowl, like, you know, under 2 inches, probably like 1.5 inch cowl hood. I like the factory cowl hoods, actually. I really like those air induction hoods or whatever. I like the Ram Air style hoods too. Those look cool on these cars. And the rear spoiler. I think the rear spoiler makes the car personally, but apparently I might not be 100% right. So I'm not sure. I feel like maybe I should just paint it now without it. Paint the spoiler separately and be like, here, if you want to put it on, I have it. But that was my only reservation, is drilling holes in a kind of an untouched, you know, it's got the factory quarters, you know, there's no rust under the trunk lid, any of that kind of stuff, all the factory trunk and everything. It's kind of like, yeah, maybe I don't want to really drill holes in it, especially if somebody just wants to drive it like this. That's cool. I got no problem with that. I just thought that I thought there would have been way more people that would have wanted it to be on there than not. I just think it looks way cooler with it, but that's just me. 50%, huh? 50%. My 80 Z28 has the air induction. Nice. John, how many cars do you have, man? You must be stacked up with cars over there. Holy cow. My wife said we have a lot of cars too, but I didn't think we have that many anymore compared to what we used to have. They're always coming and going. I just buy them, do whatever I'm doing with them, and get rid of them these days. I found a place today that they sell like repo buildings, which is really funny actually. So if you were to like go to a metal shop building place, they build sheds or shops or whatever, and they finance them, right? They'll do like almost like the rent to own thing or whatever it is, and they finance like the shop or whatever, and you don't make your payments on it. They literally come and take it down and repo it, which seems crazy. And then they'll just package up the contents and then they resell it how they get it. But like, you know, it is people like, they'll buy a building and then they sort of start insulating it, or they'll cut holes for something, or maybe it has a power pole on it already, or whatever the deal is. So you're kind of getting it like that, but they're way cheaper. Like she said a 30 by 50 there, she had sent me 30 by 50 shop. The only problem was it was short, but a 30 by 50 shop, 3 doors. So it's like 3 in the side, with, it only has 12-foot ceilings and, 12 foot walls and 10-foot doors, which would be the biggest downfall. But like, I think it was $8,000, which is, well, that's getting to be a pretty good deal. Does that have air shocks? No. It might have from the factory. I don't know. They've been replaced already. I forget. I saw them the other day. I think they're KB shocks on it now, if I remember right. So it's sitting on the jack stands. Somebody else was asking me about that. Is that why you're wondering? Because it looks like it's sitting there so high. It is super low to the ground when it's on the ground. Like it's like, to me, it's too low actually. If I was gonna keep it, I would put the lift shackles in the back and just get the back up a little bit. I like the old school kind of look. That's just me. I like 15-inch wheels and tires, spoiler, a little bit of rake in the back up there, you know, low in the front, old school wheels and tires, 15s, whatever, 295 50s in the rear. I mean, that's just how I especially of that particular era of vehicles. That's just me personally, but oh, 53% there. We're finally winning. That was a lot of votes. Looked awful high. Didn't know if you were testing the air shocks. No, it wasn't. It's just sitting on jack stands. I have the front sitting just on the jack, and it's been sitting on there for 2 days already, just up like that. These jacks from Harbor Freight there, they're like incredible actually. Like the only reason I thought of even doing it was because our local tire shop has 4 of them. And that's literally how they do tire rotations. They just jack up each corner there with 4 jacks and boom. And they'll leave it sitting there sometimes when they're doing like wheel bearings and stuff like that, like all day long. So I was like, man, if it's good enough for somebody like that to use them, then it's fine for me. Normally, if I'm gonna work under it, I'd put jack stands on it, but I just put them under the back, sitting in the front, sitting on the jacks right now, on the one jack, I should say. Well, you guys are funny. We're starting to win this thing. Just had to wait long enough. They'll come around. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. That's right. Did you get all your merch stuff out there, Busted? Sounds like you had a full day there. You must have your own website or something. I don't remember if I had checked that out or not. I really don't remember, honestly. I've got a horrible memory. Smells like something's burning. Hopefully not my house. I'm always scared when I get old cars in that I haven't really had around for a long time, like leaving the batteries and things connected in my attached garage. At least if you have a shop, it's like not as big of a deal to, I mean, it would be a big deal, don't get me wrong, but like if something ever started on fire, I'd rather have a shop burn down than my house. But I'm always scared when I smell like new smells and it smells like something's like burning. Probably my wife barbecuing though. I can't really tell. It just smells like some sort of smoke. Released 6 new designs. Now those have me busy. Nice. I'll have to talk to you one day about who you kind of use for all that stuff. I've owned a lot of cars over the years. 8 Camaros, 70, 71, 72, 75 Cutlasses, 2 Pontiac Firebirds. Nice. Been a long but productive day. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're getting some orders out and stuff. Most people that buy from you, is it online stuff or is it your stuff that you're taking to events and things like that? I don't really do a whole lot of events. I guess for me it's just a time constraint, and I never have I shouldn't say never, but I don't always have like a completely ready to go car. Like this is probably the most ready car to drive I've had in a long time. I do get them once in a while. Like I could have driven that K10 around, or I guess the Skylark, it needed the alternator thing sorted out. I mean, but most of those I guess I could have driven. But nice set of cars there, John. I agree. Yeah, I like the F-body cars. It's definitely cool. Well, that was another long day of sanding. I think I'm gonna sand up a couple of these spots with the orbital before I get off of here or whatever. 35 votes now, huh? Interesting. Yeah, that's the worst part about sanding with the orbital there, is that it just makes so much dust. I might just do it with you guys here. Give it a little bit of a touch up here. It's not too bad anyways. Let me grab that battery off of here. Give it a good clean up tomorrow, and I'm hoping I can get it to primer tomorrow, but you never know. It's I don't want to primer it in the garage here because that's a whole nother ordeal. Bro, really? So, let's see what we got here. I guess I should have left it. Well, I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this here. 57%, 58%. There we go. That's funny. Well, we won. All cars came and went, but the 67 Camaro has been with me the longest. A buddy of mine from Canada's got a 67 Camaro that he's trying to build, but he wants everything perfect, and he's had it forever, and it just never, he's not getting it finished like he would like to. And honestly, in building cars in Canada, I mean, if it would cost you 20 grand here, it's going to cost you, 60 there, not exaggerating. So he's been kind of holding off, and I don't know, then the dollar gets bad, and it's just, there's a whole bunch of little extenuating circumstances that are always a problem. All right, let's so he's not really gotten to it. He wants to have it for when he retires and be able to be running and driving, but it's he's getting close to retirement age, and it's not even close to being done. And he's everything. It's like that. He's another one of those guys. Greetings from Puerto Rico. What's up from Puerto Rico, man? Yes, Ryobi vacuum. Everything I have is Ryobi. It's all the old style Ryobi. I've got the Ryobi, what is it? It's the 1 Plus wet dry vac there, with the hose dock and all that stuff. I have a Ryobi grinder, drill, 2 circular saws. What else do I have here? I don't even know. Everything that I have. They let you use the old style battery, so I just kept on buying them, and then I upgraded to the lithiums. I had a really good drill, and of course my son, after me owning it for 25 years, drops it on the ground and breaks it in half. It was like one of the old original ones that was like just had a lot more power and stuff, but so that was fun. But well, let's see here. What's going on in Puerto Rico there, Hector? We've got a, we kind of know somebody over. Kind of know somebody over in Puerto Rico right now. I'm scared to make dust here right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not thrilled about doing this, but if you guys are new in here, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and check out all the content there. Watch some videos. All right. There she goes, I guess. Do a little bit more. Definitely lots of, you can see the glue, right? This is what I'm talking about, where it doesn't totally get to, I know, I'm getting to work here. But the glue just gums up the pad. So this is like 100 grit sandpaper on this thing. That shows you how much glue is left. All right, one more round. Doing all the little tedious things here that I love to do so much, you guys know. Oh well. So this is where it was all, there was still some glue left here, so I'm having the same problem here. Whew, lots of work there, guys. Well, it's not making it super dusty like usual. That's a bonus. Alright, get this sprayed off one more time here. Going through stuff like crazy here. Gonna take a lot of work to get this thing all clean afterwards. A lot of stuff on the front here that's been patched up that I don't love, but hard to make it perfect without replacing a lot of parts. I'll be right back there, guys. Let the dust settle a little here. Kind of bad for my lungs. remember an old auto body guy said to me one time, he's like, you want to help me do some auto body work? I said, I don't know, maybe. He said, I'll pay you good. He said, but I wouldn't continue doing it long term. He says, all it'll give you is bad eyes and bad lungs. So, he's probably not wrong. Whew, all right. Oh, she's dusty in here again. Oh, I think it's time to get a couple new filters for that mask. Getting dusty, boys. Ah, well, we're getting close to being done this project anyways. At least the body portion of it. Whew. You know, burning the old lungs here. Must be getting by a little bit there. Dying of braids. That's what somebody else said too there. Some more people that know stuff than I know. They said it's like $500 though. Have you seen my budget? I don't think I have a $500 tool in my entire shop here. Part of it is I don't have the room for a bunch more stuff too, but got to make some more of that YouTube money if you want to start getting some fancier stuff. I guess that's why people upgrade all the time as they go along here or whatever. They start growing their channels and they start getting nicer things. And then everybody calls them a sellout because they want to work faster or more efficient. Oh, you used to do it on the ground. Now you have a hoist. And that's because I couldn't afford it before. It's one of those things. I'll have to look into that. I think he said it was like $400 though. Dan or Dawn or something was in here earlier talking about that. Which is probably not wrong, but man, it's still, I don't know. That is really hard to get that off. That's crazy. I wish I could have it higher where I could actually work at it a little bit easier. Oh well, could be worse. You're saying like a DA sander, like air sander? I agree, those do work better. I actually have one, but I don't have a big enough compressor to run it. I forgot I had one of those actually until you just said that. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad. Pretty decent anyways. Not perfect, but man, I don't like that. It's that freaking glue does not want to come off of there. I don't understand. It's like when they put the pinstripe on, the glue was new and the glue just absolutely baked into there. I just had 100 grit on there. I could still barely even knocked it down. It's gonna have to be hand sanded a little bit, just touched up. If there's just little spots, I just go with the small hand sander and touch it up because I'm messing around. Whew. Screw what they think, just do what you do. Support us, be there either way. Rubbing alcohol, that's not a bad idea actually. I have tried some strippers in the past and it does for sure help, there's no doubt about that. The biggest issue is, you know what always happens, it's always in a weird spot, like where it's in a bend, or here's a perfect example, you know, being on the mirrors and stuff like that. But you could turn something like this that I'm spending, let's say I do this in a week, you could turn this into a months and months if you really wanted to go down that deep dive of all these other things that really, to make it perfect, would be the right way to do things, you know. But just try to get them back on the road. Wow, got dusty in here quick though. Well, that was a long day again here, so I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I think that's probably all I'm gonna be able to finish up here for today anyways. So like always guys, thanks for stopping by. I think I'm gonna, all right, I'm heading a perfect time in there guys. So if you guys are new to the channel, like I said, make sure you guys subscribe and stuff. Check out all the content. This thing will be out there pretty soon. check out Busted's channel there. He's got some cool stuff. And yeah, I guess we'll see. I might be back tomorrow. We'll see how it goes there. But in the meantime, thanks for stopping by and hanging out. You guys were fun tonight, so we'll catch you guys later.